Hi, I'm Gary from Raz Rentals. Recently, a viewer named RetroTube asked me on my Super7 Raphael review video if this Raphael mixed well with the cartoon Shredder from Neca. And as soon as I read the question, I was like, yeah, that's a really good question, because in my opinion, the cartoon Shredder is a way better design than the original toy Shredder. I pre-ordered, of course, the Super7 Shredder, but I have never been a huge fan of the Playmates design for that old Shredder toy. In my opinion, we didn't really have a good Shredder figure until that cartoon Shredder figure came out. You have you have Super Shredder, and that's cool, but that's its own thing. You have Wacky Shredder, that's its own thing. They don't. If you want the real Shredder, you were stuck with that scrawny, hunched over Shredder. I never liked him. I didn't like the muscles. I just felt like he was looked like a scrawny old man when I was a kid. Was not fond of him. I'm curious to see how the Super 7 one actually looks when he comes out. But, you know, in my opinion, the best Shredder so far is this Shredder. And I gotta say, let's see here. Of course, he's not gonna stand up here. Come on. There we go. All right. I think that this Shredder actually mixes really well with this Raphael. To me, the turtles should be shorter and bulky. So, you know, even though they're not as short as the cartoon Ninja Turtle toys, like this Raphael, or I'm sorry, Michelangelo, you know, that's still a very nice size comparison. I think he looks really good next to him. And usually, too, I would have, like, my Ninja Turtles squatting. I wouldn't necessarily have them standing straight up like that. So he would definitely look even shorter. I just kind of stretched him out because I wanted to see, like, how tall he really was compared to the Shredder. So, I mean, you could definitely mix these guys and have them battling on your shelf, and it would look perfectly fine. You know, in my opinion, it would be like, if you ever look at old Mirage comics, and you look at the artwork of, like, A.C. Farley, like, that's how I would kind of picture these turtles. They're kind of shorter, stockier compared to this Shredder. Now, if you really want to keep on going, if you have this Raphael fighting the cartoon Leatherhead, I don't think this works as well. I feel like even though the Michelangelo is only like a head or a half a head shorter than this Raphael, I kind of like Leatherhead to be even bigger than the Ninja Turtles. So I'm hoping that, you know, when Super 7 makes their Leatherhead, they only base it on appearance, like, yeah, the appearance of the original Leatherhead toy, but give him his nice, big, bulky size. I've never been a fan of the original toy that much. To me, he just looks like a crocodile with pants and a hat on. And, you know, this looks like how I want Leatherhead to look. You know, very bulky, intimidating, ready to fight. I think he works well with Bebop and Rocksteady. I think that their size fits in well with him. You know, to me, they're not supposed to be as big and bulky as Leatherhead. They're supposed to be taller and a little bulkier, so I think that works perfectly. You know, if he's like stuck in the middle of them and Rocksteady's shooting, or, you know, one of them could be ramming him while the other guy's shooting him. I think they work perfectly with this guy. They fit in really well. When it comes to human characters, I mean, Shredder's a human. He fits in fairly well. Raphael, next to this case, he is a decent size. I think that maybe just this April isn't the best sculpt for April. Even within the Neca line, I feel like they gave her too big of a head. They probably should have stretched out her upper torso a little bit, or like there's something. She should be taller than the turtles. I mean, I guess maybe they made her this short so that she wasn't as tall as Casey Jones in this line, but they seriously should have just made her as tall as Casey Jones. I think a lot of people would have been happier with how she came out. Now, if you want to have Raphael fight the evil brain from Dimension X, Krang, there you go. Krang might be... Krang could possibly be a little bigger. It still fits okay. And then if you want to see him with a foot soldier, that's a foot soldier from the Toon line. I feel like that still works. The foot soldiers to me aren't supposed to be intimidating. So if the turtles are bigger in size, and they just run through and rip apart all the foot soldiers, like to me the foot soldiers are just kind of like the fodder that are there for the turtles to quickly cut through before getting to the main threat, which would be like a giant mutant, Leatherhead, Baxter, Bebop and Rocksteady. And that's what the Super 7 foot soldier looks like. You could possibly mix and match those guys. Pretend that your Super 7 foot soldier is some kind of special high-tech foot soldier. That's what I would have done when I was a kid. I'd be like, well, this guy's bigger, so he's the leader out of all of them. You have like giant Raphael back in the old toys, and you'd be thinking like, well, he is just like some super powerful mutant ninja turtle from some kind of alternative universe. You'd have all those toys and all those different scales, but you'd figure out some kind of way to make them work in your head. That yeah, this all crosses over. There's Raphael next to the Neca Metalhead, and like I said, he mixes really well, even with that. Metalhead in the cartoon should be a lot taller than the Ninja Turtles, and here he's still taller, and he looks good. I can't wait for the Super 7 Metalhead to come out, though, because I'm a huge fan of that original Metalhead toy. I love the brain on top. I love the light-up eyes. This guy looks really good. He looks just like the cartoon, but, the toy Metalhead is very dear to my heart. Now, if you take Raphael here, I think the last person I can really compare him to from the Toon line, because I don't have the Rock Soldiers yet, is Slash. And even though I have Toon Slash, I'm not a huge fan of Toon Slash. I like the arcade Slash. He looks like the toy. He looks like some kind of crazy, insane Ninja Turtle who, you'd be in the middle of fighting him and then he'd all of a sudden start biting your arm or something like that. Like, he looks menacing. The Toon Slash looks like some kind of nerd that the Ninja Turtles would just like knock over and he wouldn't be able to even fight him. And not that I have anything against nerds, I just kind of feel like, I just think that he doesn't look threatening at all. He doesn't look like he could fight them. He looks like they would just smash the crap out of him. But this Slash, he looks menacing. He looks like he would actually cause a problem for them. And he's a little smaller than Raphael. He's probably a little smaller than you would want him to be. But if you look at the original toys, Leo here is taller than the original Slash toy. The only thing that Slash has on Leo is that he is, he's bulkier. Slash has this giant spike shell and Leo is very thin. So you could mix him. If you really want to see it, I'll get him. There he is with Toon Slash. I never liked these like giant teeth he had, and I don't know. I wanted sharp stuff. I wanted sharp teeth and scary looking eyes. I wanted monsters that looked like they were gonna eat my heroes. This guy, he looks like he's like, whoa man, I didn't mean it. I don't want to fight you. I don't mean it. He looks like he would just get knocked right out. So, other than the Raphael comparison, if you want to also check out something else, if you have Splinter here, who's Splinter's mortal enemy? Why, it is the Shredder. So you got Toon Shredder standing next to, come on, to the Ultimates. Come on. There we go. Okay, well, see, this to me, this works. Splinter does look a little bigger and bulkier than the Shredder does, but I'm perfectly fine with that, because if you were imagining in your head that Splinter used to be a human, except he mutated into a rat, some size increase, to me, is understandable. The only thing is that, not to be a negative Nelly here, but the original Playmates Splinter toy is not a favorite of mine. Like, I've never been a huge fan of the Playmates Splinter or the Playmates Shredder. So to me, this is a fantastic, great upgrade to Shredder. I like what Super7 did here with this Splinter, but I'm a lot more excited about the cartoon Splinter coming out. I think he looks fantastic. I like the way he looks in the cartoon a lot more. This to me kind of looks like, this is almost like a drawing by Peter Laird. If you look at, and I like Peter Laird's artwork in the original Ninja Turtles, but to me his face looks very much like a Peter Laird Splinter. And like I said, I'm a huge fan of Peter Laird. I think he's done some amazing Ninja Turtle comics, but I'm just not fond of this face. I was just never fond of this face as a kid. Oh, okay. And other than that, if you have Shredder, and you have him standing next to, he's got his Toon Shredder, I'm sorry, you have his Toon Foot Soldier, and then you have him with the Super7 Foot Soldier. It might not match as well because of the colors. These blue colors here don't really match the look of these guys. I've always been a fan of both Foot Soldier designs. I love that Foot Soldier design. I like this Foot Soldier design. I think they could work well together. I just don't know how well he works with him. There's just something visually that's putting it off for me a little bit. And then finally, if you have Michelangelo, and he's like the coolest turtle of all, dude, and you have him there, and you wanted to mix him fighting a Super7 mutant, like Baxter here. Oh. Baxter was so intimidated by Michelangelo he couldn't even stand up. To me, that works really well. Baxter, of course, his hands wouldn't be as big as a human in the cartoon line, but like I said with Splinter, if you're imagining that he's a human and he got mutated into a fly, why couldn't you imagine that his size of his hands got bigger? Like, to me, the bigger the bad guy, the the scarier threat. So I would mix. I mean, I would mix any like the Bebop and Rocksteadies or anything like that fighting the cartoon turtles. I would mix the the Toon Turtles look fantastic next to the Super 7 Turtles. As I said in my Raphael Super 7 review, this is a great time to be a Ninja Turtle fan. All this stuff looks amazing, and you have so many cool ways to collect and to display all these guys. So, I'm a pretty happy camper here. So, thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. Like I said, I can't wait for the new Super 7 figures to come, hopefully in November. I can't wait for the new Neca figures. They're supposed to be coming out very soon. People are already getting the Rock Soldiers. I haven't found any because I live in Pennsylvania and they never come here ever until a month after everybody gets them all the way in California and Texas and whatnot. So, just let me know what you think. Let me know which you prefer, the Toon Ninja Turtle. Like, let me know what you think, how these compare to each other. Talk to you later.